Hello, my name is Samantha Holloway and I'm a reader in the Centre for Medical Education, School of Medicine at Cardiff University in Wales, UK. I'm also the President-elect for the International Skin Tear Advisory Panel. I'm here with Dimitri Beekman, who is Professor at Ghent University and Örebro University in Sweden. Dimitri is also the current President of ISTAP. We're pleased to be able to share some news of a forthcoming webinar to launch ISTAP's best practice document, Holistic Strategies to Promote and Maintain Skin Integrity. So, Dimitri, can you tell us what prompted the development of the best practice document?
Thank you, Sam. As we know, clinical decision-making and silo thinking, or the silo thinking mentality, these were the main drivers for the development of this document. Clinical decision-making is defined as the ability to shift and to synthesize a plethora of information from multiple sources to, in the end, to make decisions and to appropriately implement those decisions within a clinical setting. Clinicians, they must effectively identify all relevant information and cross-link that information and risk factors to solve problems of patients' diagnosis and to implement treatment. Such a silo mentality refers to information silos as a mindset not to consider all relevant information about an individual at the same time. Such a silo mentality also causes clinicians not to consider all relevant information, such as risk factors, patient characteristics, context, psychosocial factors, etc., in the assessment of risk factors for wound development or during the course of the treatment of a wound. So there is a real threat of withholding information, of ignoring priorities, and delaying processes. And with this document, we aimed to break down those silos and to look for synergies that can be achieved by sharing resources across silos and managing multiple risk factors for different skin problems at the same time. So what we did in the document is we defined it as holistic strategies to promote and to maintain skin integrity. And I also would like to mention that we could not have achieved this document without partnerships with Wounds International, with the nurses specialized in wound ostomy and continence Canada, and of course our industry partners, 3M KCI, Mölnlycke, Polymem, Essity, and Medline.
Okay, thank you. So you've given a good overview of the aim of the document. What are your hopes in terms of implementation of the recommendations?
Well, this document is really about the skin. So it's the largest organ of the human body, as we know. So the functions of the skin, they are to protect us from external insults and to maintain the internal homeostasis. And from clinical practice, we realize that during an individual's lifespan, so there are many periods of enhanced skin vulnerability, which renders the individual more prone to the development of skin problems. There are certain critical phases, specifically in the early life, so when the skin is not fully matured, or when individuals are suffering from dermatological or other systemic and chronic diseases at advanced age, but also at the end of life. And the International Skin Tear Advisory Panel, we identified some key knowledge gaps in the prevention and the management of those skin problems in those critical phases. And we wanted to improve practice and the clinical outcomes. And as I said earlier, so we recognized a need for guidance that focuses on those shared risk factors and preventive strategies for some common skin conditions that our individuals are facing with an increased skin vulnerability. And in the document, we focused on skin tears, on pressure ulcers, on moisture-associated skin damage, and on skin changes at the end of life. So the aim of the document is really to define those concepts and to guide clinicians in their efforts to identify shared risk factors for those skin conditions and also ways to maintain or to promote skin integrity. The intention was not to summarize these individual skin conditions as it already exists in the literature, but to bring them together by focusing on their common risk factors and formulating a synergistic prevention approach that will break down barriers in practice. So we hope that this document will provide healthcare professionals with the information and resources they need to provide more appropriate care to at-risk individuals with fragile skin.
Okay, thank you. So ISTAP are actually planning a virtual webinar on the 29th of October 2020 to launch the document. Can you provide a little more information about the launch and what clinicians can expect from the webinar programme?
Yeah, sure. It will be a 1-hour virtual event with some of the authors and the experts that are summarizing topics from the document. So we will have speakers from Canada, from the UK, from the US, from Abu Dhabi, and from Belgium. And just to give you some insights about the program, so we will discuss concepts related to skin vulnerability. So Karen Campbell from Canada, she will discuss this important topic. And then you, Sam, you will present about the skin, and you will provide an overview of our largest organ, and you will put this in context and in relation to skin health and skin integrity. Then we have Diane Langemo, who will discuss the development of a risk framework for skin frailty. And that is followed by Gulnaz Tariq from Abu Dhabi, who is the current president of the World Union of Wound Healing Societies. And she will focus on promoting skin health and skin injury from prevention. And then the last speaker is Dr. Kimberly LeBlanc from Canada, and she will discuss implementation and changing practice challenges. And I will do some closing remarks. So I will give an overview of what has been presented, and I will give some final reflections. So the webinar will be freely accessible on our ISTAP website. And it will remain on the website also after the launch on October 29th.
Okay, sounds really exciting. So as part of the launch, ISTAP will also be providing opportunities for clinicians to get involved by taking part in a Twitter chat. How will that be organised, and how can individuals get involved?
Well, that's the challenging part of this event. So our ISTAP Twitter chat, which is at Skin Tears, will be really taken over by our expert speakers, and they will be available for a 1-hour time slot to answer your questions. So we will give opportunity to everyone in different time zones. And those time zones are the zones where our speakers are based. So I would like to refer you to our website for more details about the availability and the different times that our speakers are available to answer your questions through our Twitter.
Thank you. So thank you very much, Dimitri, and thank you all for watching and or listening. For more information about the webinar and how to get involved with ISTAP, please visit our website, which is skintears.org. And please don't forget to be part of the launch on the 29th of October 2020. Thank you and goodbye.